Her first voicemail came at 3:12 a.m., a cracked whisper, a forced laugh, a tremor she tried to hide under too much breath. "Hey, where are you? I'm sure it's nothing, just call me." Then another, 30 minutes later. "Why is the bedroom empty? Why is the closet empty? Why—" A pause, a swallow. "Why is my ring missing from the nightstand?" I listened to them from the passenger seat of a cab heading toward the coast, the lights of the city blurring against the window, like someone had smeared the night with their thumb. She wasn't supposed to be back for 6 more hours. She wasn't supposed to find the bed stripped down to the bare mattress. She wasn't supposed to find the note until sunrise. Yet her voice trembled through the speaker like the sound of a glass about to crack. I leaned my head against the window and closed my eyes, letting her panic settle over me like a thin frost. Beneath it, warmth rose slowly, quiet, controlled, earned. 2 weeks earlier, she had told me about her self-discovery trip. Her lips had curved into the softest apology a liar could manufacture. I had simply nodded. Now, hearing her voice spiral into desperation, I felt the first clean breath I'd taken in years. And I wasn't even gone yet. Just leaving, finally. It started with a smell, cologne that wasn't mine. It clung to her scarf like it had been waiting to be discovered. I noticed it the moment she walked past me, pretending to search for her keys in that overly dramatic way she used whenever guilt bloomed in her throat. Then came the late-night yoga classes she never returned sweaty from. The old friend from high school who kept liking her photos at 2 in the morning. And the way she flinched whenever I touched her shoulder, as if my fingers were reminders she wasn't ready to face. But the moment everything shifted was smaller than that. She announced her trip casually, slicing vegetables at the kitchen counter. Her voice was breezy, like she was discussing the weather. "I'm going on a self-discovery retreat. With Daniel." His name had weight. Too much history. Too much unspoken. She said it like she expected me to protest, like she needed the fight to justify the betrayal. Instead, I felt something inside me freeze in place. Not break, not shatter, just stop. I watched her test my expression, searching for the storm she hoped to see, the validation that she still mattered enough to bruise me. I gave her nothing. "Sounds great," I said. My tone was calm enough that she blinked, confused. A piece of chopped carrot rolled off the knife and hit the floor. That night, she packed while humming. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. The betrayal wasn't loud. It wasn't violent. It was simply quiet erosion, years of small cuts she thought I couldn't feel. But the silence had taught me something she never expected. Stillness is not weakness. It's preparation. She left on a Friday morning. By noon, I started digging. Her laptop wasn't hard to access. She used the same 2 passwords for everything: her birthday and her dog's name. Within minutes, I found the folder she thought she had hidden. Screenshots, photos, messages that traced a digital affair back nearly a year. I read each one slowly, letting every word settle into me like sediment sinking in water. Not to hurt myself, to understand the blueprint of her deception. She had written about me like I was a placeholder, some safe harbor she could return to when storms with him grew too fierce. He won't leave. He's too gentle. Gentle. Interesting. I moved methodically. I called the landlord. I packed only what belonged to me. I contacted a storage unit facility 2 towns away. Each step was deliberate, clean, surgical. I made no calls to friends, no emotional outbursts, no accusations hurled into the empty air. Instead, I walked through each room like I was closing the door on a life I had outgrown. The closets emptied, the drawers cleared, the wedding photo removed from its frame. And the note, handwritten, in the center of the kitchen island, I discovered myself too. I placed her ring beside it, not out of sentiment, out of precision. By the time she boarded the return flight early, apparently the self-discovery trip had ended in arguments, I was already gone. Only silence waited for her. Silence and truth. Her sixth voicemail broke something in her, not me. Who told you? What did you see? Please, just talk to me. Her voice was raw, scraped thin by panic. Then another, her tone collapsing. I'm home. I don't understand. All your things are gone. Why would you just leave? I smiled bitterly, because she taught me how. While she unraveled through the recordings, I sat in a small rented apartment overlooking the water, letting her desperation wash against me in waves. But the real reveal came in her final message. Quiet, strained, and terrified, I found the folder. I know you saw everything. Please, I'm begging you. So she realized the truth. Good. She expected a confrontation, expected screaming, tears, some explosion of pain that she could manipulate into reconciliation. What she didn't expect was nothing. The absence of my rage frightened her more than any outburst ever could. She finally saw the truth, I knew. I had known long enough to plan my exit with the same precision she used to plan her betrayal. And that, more than losing me, was what broke her voice into shards. I didn't call back. I didn't text. I sent one email, short, direct, composed. I know everything. Please consider this my formal departure from our marriage. The lease is under your name only. The storage unit contains nothing of yours. Do not contact me again unless it is through legal channels. 26 words, each one a quiet blade. Within minutes, she replied. Then again, long paragraphs begging for a conversation. Promises, apologies, excuses, blame, bargaining, panic. I read none of them. Instead, I forwarded them to my attorney with a single note. Document everything. There was no screaming confrontation, no dramatic showdown, just a woman suddenly forced to face the consequences of a life she thought she could juggle. A woman who discovered her lover wasn't willing to build a future with her. A woman who returned from a trip meant to discover herself, only to find what she had been trying to avoid, the hollow space she carved inside her own life. And me? Gone. Calmly, quietly, completely. Sometimes freedom doesn't come with fireworks. Sometimes it comes with the sound of waves outside a small apartment window and the realization that your heartbeat no longer belongs to someone careless enough to misplace it. I sat on the floor that first night, surrounded by boxes, listening to the last voicemail she ever left. Her voice was small, fragile, uncertain in a way I had never heard. I didn't think you'd actually leave. I exhaled slowly. That was the problem. She never thought I could. We teach people how to treat us by the pain we tolerate, and I had finally stopped teaching. When the recording ended, I deleted the message. Not out of anger, not out of triumph, but because it no longer mattered. I had discovered something she never expected: myself. And the final truth was simple. Some betrayals don't break you. They unbury you. I walked away, and for the first time in years, the ground felt solid beneath my feet.